la 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 la. Hey YouTube, as promised already, I will now show you the Zoom V6 in very detail.
3, 2, 1. SCHNITTLABOR International Review.
As promised already in one of the former videos about the Zoom V6 and the A1X4 by Zoom, I will now show you all these kind of like essential functions. I will go out of the bypass. Anyway, there is no effect. This would be an effect, a harmony function. This is how it should be set. You see this kind of clip function here? So this is green, but it should never go into the red area. So this is how you should set the volume of the microphone signal coming in from here into this XLR input. Then, of course, I will just show you in a second. If I move this one up, then I will add a little compression, which means I can just speak with any kind of like very silent voice and so forth, and you will be able to hear everything nicely. But then in the end also, like, this is kind of like the very main core section here. Like some of the S sounds and so forth, they may be a little bit sharp, maybe a little bit too sharp, and that's why you can use the enhance one, which is articulating some aspects of the voice a little bit more and takes down the S's and so forth, and then like the whole thing is much more round. This would be like the standard just voice transportation of this vocal processor. If you want to know how the unboxing looks like, all the connectors up here and so forth, just click the button. There is like a link on the top right of your video now to this other video, and there you will have everything explained regarding to this. But here we go directly into all the relevant functions. I'm sorry, there is like a little delay in the background. Maybe I'm going to switch off this guitar here. 1 second, I take it off the Zoom H6. I can turn down the volume. 1 second. This one I explained you already. This is the basic thing. Then basically you have 3 sections here. A voice sections where you can really like kind of like manipulate the outcome of your voice. You have the harmony section, and then you have the effect section, which is basically everything here. Then down here, as I was showing you already, you have the possibility to bypass all the effects and bring out the pure voice, or switch it off again. At the same time, you can switch here between the memory function and looper function, which I'm going to explain you a little bit later. And here you have recording and stop functions with the looper, and at the same time also you have pedal to switch between the different memory settings and so forth. I'm speaking here directly into the shotgun mic, which comes together with the Zoom V6. And I will just present you now 2 or 3 examples of the standard patterns which are already installed here. The point is that there is few patterns pre-installed, and you have enough space, like up to 99. You like maybe from 30 to 99 you can just make your own settings precisely, and then store them using the store button here, which will always light up immediately as soon as you start to do any changes of an existing pattern. So I give you an example of the first one. So this one is just like a modification of the voice. Okay, sounds like that. Sounds much more strange. For example, number 3.
This one here, yeah. Okay, maybe not. If you are looking for a real robot voice, this is the robot voice.
Here you can use a really low voice. So before it was more like kind of like robotic and abstract and so forth. Another one like 22, it should be like a maximum compression, sounds like that. Careful, maybe it can be a little bit too loud. Yeah, this one here, maximum compression. Sounds also very interesting. And 32, 1 second.
I am the robot. I speak.
So I'm bypassing this one. For example, the robot one was kind of like really fixing the voice in one place. Even if I would articulate my voice, it stays in the same place. And then we have one more, which we can call father, yeah? Something like that. Actually, I like to call this effect father myself. I don't know, it reminds me just some of the Star Wars movies. And okay, so if you go back, for example, to number 0, and we take off the bypass, then we are in this voice here, or maybe even we got all one more, then we don't have any manipulation, this is just a pure voice. I have kind of like pitch thing here, where I can go down, and then I can go up also, ha 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 ha. Yeah, ha 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 ha. The voice section, I will just go through fast here. Just for you to understand, 1 second, this adjust button here, it shifts between like this kind of like natural voice and the voice effect on the right side. You can do this in all 3 areas. And so if you use the vocoder, for example,
Yes, you need
here you still have a mixture, yeah. Then
you have a robot voice, you have a robot voice, you can modify the voice.
and then you have the unison, which is kind of like doubling your voice, which also sounds interesting, like an echo, a chamber or something.
You have deep here, this is of course, very deep.
And here is the childish voice. And it's not really, I think a child would never really speak like that, but okay, it reminds a little bit.
Here is the octave down. Very interesting. They call this one octave down and this one octave up. So supposedly this was the octave up, chromatic, and key, pitch correct, key. So this is the voice section. Here we go back to the harmony, and before you start with harmony, you have to know that you have to kind of like set everything in accordance with the whole instruments. Depending on how they are tuned, you need to also tune this one so that the harmonies will fit. It's a little bit hidden function, which is here in the voice section. You have to switch this machine off and then press voice, hold it, and then when you switch it on, you will enter a mode where you can select here between something like 435 and 445 Hertz. Unfortunately, you cannot go down to 432. I think it should be minimum from 430 to 450, but unfortunately Zoom is not doing it. I hope with one of the following updates, maybe Zoom, you can do this. Could be nice. So I will just show you how the tuning works. I will be off for a second. Okay, so now we are tuned to 434 Hertz, and if I switch one more, I will dial back the guitar for a second. 1 second. I will just get an A from here. Okay, so if I switch on harmony and I'm on A minor, then I can now kind of go into the higher, lower areas with different volume aspects. So if you press one time, it will be the highest amplitude for a high double. And this one you can lower a little bit, you will see it's different degrees of how it's shining, and then also it sounds different in this way. So if I start like this, it's a minor, and here again you can go completely into this, or you get back your natural voice a little bit. And then you can say, okay, I want to have a little bit less of this higher one. And then you can say, I want to have even more or less of this higher one. You're almost close to your natural voice, which is like that. And same principle is with all these buttons here. So you do high and low. And then you sing in A minor, for example. And you have only like two options at the same time. So if I would go to fixed now, then something disappears from here. You are sitting in A minor, yeah, yeah. Now, yeah, this is maybe not like my preferred one. You can also do this. And then here on the left, you can go through all the different keys, like so. On the right side, you have the effects section. And of course, we can just skip through all kind of different effects. You will see it sounds like that. The echo, hello, echo. And here you have a delay together with reverb. Here you have a chorus. Hello, chorus sounds like that. It's something very conventional. Hall. We're in the hall now. Yeah. So, and I can go over here, and then we're even much more in the hall. Here is the room. Sounds like a room, okay. The plate. Of course, we don't want to miss a plate effect. Beatbox. Actually, I'm not a beatboxer, but I will just try some very short. Something like that. And then you have telephone, hello, I'm calling from the distance. And here, of course, also we have a distortion, and we can kind of like modify the distortion using this button here. What's also interesting is here the delay. So you can kind of like, when you think it should be slower, so you go like, it should be slower, slower delay. Or you go very fast, like for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, ha 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 ha. 1, 2, 3, 4, ha 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 ha. Looper section. Looper section, very interesting. I will also show you an example using the looper. Here we take like maybe very deep voice.
Like this, yeah. Now then we can
Understand. maybe we better stay
with this one.
Maybe we'll just use, yeah, like let's say the natural voice. It's still the best, yeah. We will start the looper here. And then we will go into the record mode, and we have like 30 seconds maximum, I think, to loop with. And this goes like la da da la 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 da da la 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 la. And then of course you can add a second voice and so forth, which I will show you now in a second. I will just start singing over the first existing pattern, memory, like looping pattern, yeah. So la da da la 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 da da la 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 da da la la la. And then of course you can also combine it with all kind of effects, like so, for example, just to make it a little bit more creepy, and we will start like this. La da da la 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 Okay, so basically this is the whole Zoom V6. I hope you got
a little impression of what you can do with
this one. I just want to say, like, basically I'm so happy with this microphone, with the Zoom, which is having a very interesting compressor and an enhancer. That's basically all you need. And if you want to go a little bit more fancy in some of the refrains of your songs, then you have this kind of harmony function. Nice tool to play around with. I hope it was kind of like useful for you to get an impression of all the included functions. Please follow the SSCHNITTLABOR YouTube channel and hit the notification bell for future updates. Thanks a lot. See you soon.